and welcome to This Car Pod.
I'm Kennan.
I'm Filippo.
I'm Doug. And let's start with the news. The biggest news of the week is Key. Filippo?
We have a new channel.
We got a new channel. A new channel. Producer Sean, along with other people who are very gifted, created a new YouTube channel for high quality automotive content. Everybody's always like, why not more cinematic? Why not more quality? Why not invest real money into making good stuff? And I'm in the parking lot with my bad camera.
Right.
But now we have that.
Yep.
You can't complain anymore.
Yep. So find it on YouTube, subscribe. The first video is out now. It's about JDM car culture. Our very own Ryan Lopez, he of HVAC fame, is the host of that, and a lot of other great videos.
There's great stuff coming. I've seen some upcoming Key videos. They're awesome. This truly is a chance for producer Sean, who, by the way, is on the podcast next week. It's a big deal. This is a chance for producer Sean to let his creative juices flow and create some really high quality, cool car stuff that's going to be awesome. Are you excited?
I'm incredibly excited.
Are you excited?
Is it going to be only about Alfa Romeos? There's
No.
going to be other stuff, right? Because if it's just Sean, if you let him go, that's what you're going to get.
I don't even think there's an Alfa Romeo in the first few episodes.
Wow. Well, there will be one eventually. But yes, I am excited.
Is good stuff. It's going to be legitimately, wonderfully, excitingly good. I am tremendously excited about it. Sean has always... Sean's going to talk about this more next week in the pod, but Sean has always had all these great car content ideas. He's finally in a place to be able to do some of them along with a fantastic team that we have. And go subscribe to this channel and check out our content. It is good. Beep.
Find it in the description below and go watch the first video.
We're going to pin a comment. Let's pin a comment. From now on, we're going to pin a comment saying, go subscribe to Key. Until you do, I'll be watching you.
You the police?
And Sting.
Ooh.
Okay, Key. Key is big news. The other big news of the week, almost as big as Key, but not as big as Key, is...
The Afeela is dead.
So what happened to that PR person we were talking about last week?
Yeah, you got to assume that they're also dead.
Dead.
No. Obviously not. But I assume that they may no longer have a job.
got whacked.
We talked last week about this being likely. So Honda has stopped pretty much all of their EV initiatives. Sony Honda Mobility is no more. Sony Honda Mobility announced that they've decided to discontinue the development and launch of its first model and its second model, collectively.
And all models.
The models. It comes following discussions between its parent companies, the Sony Group Corporation and Honda Motor Co.
Okay.
They are throwing Honda massively under the bus in this entire statement for good reason.
Well, Honda's the one who makes cars, so without Honda, they can't make cars. Okay, I want to posit something. I have a question for you, Filippo. Kennan, you can take this one too. They got the fella in the office, the White House, the Trump fella.
Yeah, the president of the United States,
President of the United States, the Trump guy. And things could be better, right? You can't get to an airport. You got Iran. You got the oil crisis forming.
All lies. I get to airports all the time.
Pretty good.
Let's just say there's a possibility that the libs get their act together and find a decent candidate, which is admittedly, we'll see.
Yeah.
But let's say that happens and the Trump fella's gone.
Yeah.
Do you think that these companies that are turning their, and even right now, gas prices are shooting up. Do you think that these companies that are turning their backs on EVs, it's either soon with the Iran situation or sort of soon with maybe a new presidential administration, do you think they might regret not developing EVs further?
Yeah. I think they will. I mean, to be clear, Sony Honda Mobility, there were some concerns about their future regardless, had they produced the Afeela 1 or the Afeela 2 or the other models. I'm not sure that was ever viable. But I think that stopping that development will be really problematic. I think it will also... I mean, Honda's doing this. Every American automaker is also kind of taking the same path, and I think that we will see them regret that in the near future.
Now, do you think that Sony will regret that they can't be in the car business?
Yeah. They'll keep making screens, they make technology. I want to legitimately read this because it's quite the press release. I'm going to read just one line.
Well, it was written by someone who's...
Please illegitimately read that to us.
Yeah.
However, as a result of Honda's reassessment of its automobile electrification strategy announced on March 12th, Sony Honda Mobility will no longer be able to utilize certain technologies and assets that were originally planned to be provided by Honda. It does not have a viable path forward.
Well, Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's surprised. Afeela's done.
To be fair, it didn't have a viable path forward with Honda's technology. So
We've been laughing about Afeela since they announced pricing, since they announced models. Like, I'm going to tell you something. If you want to be successful as an EV automaker, this ain't it.
no, it was very technology heavy.
This ain't it.
There
It
was
ain't
AI.
happening. This is not the car. Okay.
The good news is that Sony Honda Mobility will continue discussions with Sony and Honda regarding its future business plans.
It is so interesting because like Apple for a long time had considered making a car,
Yeah.
but decided no.
Yeah.
Which I think
It's a
was
hard
kind of it was, and they had invested a lot of R&D and decided not to do it. Sony decides to go out and do this and fails miserably at it, and before it even starts, before it even becomes something.
Yep.
It is not easy to develop a car. I think a lot of tech companies look at it and think, oh, it's a skateboard platform.
That fellow from South Africa did it, though.
Elon Musk,
That fellow
Yeah.
from South Africa did do it. He started with a Lotus.
But also
yeah.
the guy from Florida who we talked to on this very podcast that day that it was hot.
RJ
The day that-
Oh, okay, yeah.
He did it.
What
Yeah.
about that? And the Saudis are doing it today with Lucid.
It is.
Sort of.
It's interesting to see the Japanese automakers kind of not really innovate in this space in a meaningful way.
It is
It's interesting.
It is interesting.
The Japanese are like, we don't need EVs.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Nissan really excelling. Honda now has had multiple quarters of quite poor results.
Yesterday,
Today isn't okay.
I came up to an intersection.
Spoil.
I came to a stop sign, and a fellow in an Aria got there after me. But he
Discontinued.
Slammed his brakes, get to the stop sign, floored it through the intersection. He turned without his turn signal. I was like, you know what? Guy's got an Aria. I'm gonna let him do his thing. You know what I mean?
Discontinued though, so he's.
That's
he's
kind of
only
was my
a 2-year-old
thinking. It's
model.
like if you're at the point in your life where you got an Aria, you know what? You drive it like that, sir. You need that. I'm giving you that.
I do wonder. There are a lot of 1-year only EVs. The Afeela never made it to 1 year, but there are a lot, and you gotta kind of wonder if these will become desirable later in life.
They will not
No.
ever become desirable, but you do wonder about support. Like there are
Yep.
definitely people who bought some of these EVs, assuming that, like, especially retired people who are assuming this would kind of be maybe their last car.
Yep.
That like they were sold reliability and their mileage use case has gone down and all that.
Yep.
And so they ended up getting themselves into stuff like BZ4X, although that technically hasn't been canceled yet.
It's a BZ now,
Right. Or a Prologue or
which is
ZDX.
indeed canceled
Yeah.
and problematic because it's not a Honda product really.
Yeah.
So poor dealers are gonna have to support a 2-year product
Yeah. Right.
forever.
With GM architecture, and try explaining that to some old person who bought one. Oh,
Yep.
you actually have to take this down the street to John Smith's Chevy. I'm like, what? I bought a Honda because it was reliable.
Yeah.
That's going to be a weird situation. Anyway, good luck to that. No surprise about Afeela, literally zero. I would have called this the day that it was first announced. In fact, you first told me about it on this very podcast. We could go back and watch the clip, but I have a suspicion I wasn't particularly supportive.
No, it talked to you though, or something.
Dude, if it looks like that,
It did.
it could
They ran
it could
a
whisper
lot.
you sweet nothings.
They ran a lot of ads that tried to connect Sony cameras to the. It was.
You know,
it just doesn't.
I have a Sony cam. Now that I think about it, I have a Sony
Oh,
camera.
so you're a fan of Sony
I
Honda
feel
Mobility.
bad now
Well,
for
actually,
this company.
all of the cameras that's being filmed right now, all of those are Sony
Oh
cameras.
my God. This company we love.
We love the cameras. Stick to the cameras.
We don't realize how integrated they are into our lives. It's like when Circuit City tried to make a car dealership.
Right. As High School Musical taught us, you should stick to the stuff you know.
Okay, let's move on to the next
Wow.
news story, which is the new Corvette Grand Sport. Surely this must be an exciting moment for Filippo, the resident Corvette enthusiast.
it is. We talked a few weeks ago. There was a spy shot on like a pullout on Angeles Crest or something like that of a Grand Sport, and indeed the Grand Sport is coming. They announced it at Sebring. More details will come between the time you're watching this and the time we're filming. Like it's theoretically more details are being announced tomorrow. Yesterday for you.
You know more than we do.
yeah.
How does it feel to live in the future?
And therefore, we don't have much to say.
No, but we do know that it has little red stripes on one corner like other Grand
Yeah.
Sports have.
Blue's got the white
We
strip.
do know also that they have continued to tamp down rumors of a manual transmission.
They have said very clearly that there is not a manual coming. That there were rumors of it because a supplier had made a manual that could theoretically fit with the engine, but the chief engineer for Corvettes had made very clear that is not coming.
For them. Now, the Tremec is supposedly making a transmission for swaps that's coming in 2 years.
Yeah.
It'll be an interesting swap because of the center console design.
Yeah. How do you make that work? with all the
okay, I will
buttons
say.
and-
It's quite an interesting quote. So
your cup holder.
Tony Roma is the Corvette engineer, is the chief Corvette engineer, right? And his quote says, Tremec showed something at SEMA last year that I wish they wouldn't have shown. It's not real. So it's rare for an automaker to throw one of their largest suppliers under the bus. Maybe it doesn't actually exist. Maybe it's not production ready.
That Chevy is probably perpetually a little bit disappointed by the persistent rumor that there's going to be a manual transmission in this car, possibly because a manual transmission would really be a really strong asset to this car. This is a fantastic car, one of the best sports cars on the market. It'd be cool if it had 3 pedals.
I couldn't agree with you more. Mid-engine, V8, manual, I mean, that is...
Especially because GM is so committed to manuals and other performance cars.
Right.
The Camaro had one right up until the end. The Blackwing's got one, both 4 and 5.
And their take rates must have been pretty decent on those, I would think. Like, people really...
Apparently, late C7 manual take rate was absolutely low.
Well...
Do you mean abysmal?
I know, I said it very poorly. I sounded wrong.
Okay. English is a second language, don't forget.
Abysmally low, excuse me.
But
so very low, and that's part of the reason.
Sure, but the market, I mean, the demand for it's there. Like,
I would also argue, this is an argument that I would provide to Tony Roma and one of his restaurants. I would say, look, I totally agree that the C7 demand for manuals was low, but the C8 is reaching a totally different kind of buyer. I presume it's a younger buyer. There is more youth interest in this car than I've ever seen before. It is much more a performance car buyer who actually probably wants to exploit the capabilities of the vehicle as opposed to some of the C7 owners.
Well, the DCT,
we know.
they would argue is faster shifting.
Totally, but who want to enjoy, et cetera. I mean, you look at Porsche, you see what's going on there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if
2 manual models.
Yeah, but GT3s, it's like all anybody wants. It's a distinction between whether the car is successful in the used market or not. I mean, the real enthusiasts are going after them. They're selling for 20, 30% more on the secondary market. Not that I'm saying that would happen to C8, but there's certainly demand, especially for C8 relative to C7. I totally understand C7 take rate was low. I think that was more of the boomer jean short kind of buyer. I think the C8 buyers are a little bit different.
Well, it doesn't have to be offered with every model. Like a manual Z06, like I think we can all get behind that would be a pretty
I would even be into a manual Grand Sport, presuming the Grand Sport is like other Z06s, which is, or other previous Corvettes, which is that it has some of the Z06 upgrades, not the powertrain. That would be a pretty cool car.
By the way, there's talk of for the first time there being 2 Grand Sport models. There are rumors that there'll be a Grand Sport X, which is the E-Ray rebranded as a Grand Sport X.
Hey, anything they can do to justify the investment in the E-Ray. Pull up the C4 Grand Sport. I want to talk about this for a second. Yeah.
I've never loved the C4 Grand Sport.
The C4 Grand Sport is my all-time favorite Corvette.
We sold it?
Grand Space.
Sorry, I didn't.
Grand.
It's not an...
Yeah.
He's not a giant Corvette enthusiast
He's not
like me.
He's a Maserati Grand.
This is my all-time favorite Corvette. I love this car.
More than the C401?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really?
C4 Grand Sport is the coolest looking Corvette of all time. It came at the very final model year of C4. It just balled out.
But
ooh.
355.
I love the C4 Grand Sport, and it's still to this day, I occasionally think about picking one up. And you know, we got this WS6 Bird in the office. Makes me want one of these even more. I want to get into some late 90s, early 2000s America. Let's go.
Doug is ready for his jean shorts era.
Pull up the interior. This was not a jean shorts car. This is for connoisseurs. This is for real adults. Look at this red interior.
Yeah.
You had this interior back in 96. You were somebody.
Can you go back to the photo of the 355? Can we just agree that anybody that's actually buying a 355 should just buy a C4 Grand Sport?
Yeah, especially because it's a roofie lifter offie.
No.
Right.
Okay, move on to the next news story, please.
Somewhere between that first warm weekend and realizing short season is right around the corner, eating well stops feeling optional. For me, the issue is always time. I get busy and default to whatever is easiest. That's why I started using Factor. It's fully prepared meals designed by dietitians, crafted by chefs, and ready in about 2 minutes. Make it easy. No planning, no cooking. Like last week, after a workout, I had the Tex-Mex chicken bowl, and honestly, other than spending time with Emily, it was the best decision I made all day. Super filling, tasted great, and actually felt like I was doing something healthy. Everything inside is legit. Lean proteins, real vegetables, whole ingredients, healthy fats. No refined sugars, no artificial sweeteners. There are over 100 rotating meals each week too. High protein, calorie smart, Mediterranean, even their new Muscle Pro meals for recovery. So it never gets boring. And the convenience is the whole point. Fresh, never frozen, ready in 2 minutes. No prep, no stress, and you actually stick to it. I use this and you should too. Head to factormeals.com/cars50off and use the code CARS50OFF to get 50% off and free breakfast for a year. Make healthy eating easy. with Factor.
Sean and I grabbed coffee at Ultrea Coffee in Ocean Beach before we record pretty regularly. It's a great spot. And every time the operation just feels dialed in. Fast checkout, instant receipts, zero fumbling. They're running Square, and you can tell. And support for today's episode comes from Square, and they've got big news. During Square's biannual releases event, they launched a wave of innovative new tools to help local businesses run faster, smarter, and more profitably. From AI that answers your toughest business questions to tech that simplifies food orders and tracks every dollar, it's all live and it's built for businesses like yours. Whether you're starting fresh or scaling fast, Square helps you keep up and get ahead. The Square AI is what gets me. Just ask it, where is my money going? And you get an instant chart. And for a small business owner, that's a game changer. Right now, you can get up to $200 off Square hardware at square.com/go/carpod. That's SQUARE.com/GO/carpod. Run your business smarter with Square. Get started today.
Which is the C4 Grand. Oh, Lamborghini. Okay, Road and Track is reporting. Road and Track, famous magazine, or possibly they're not a magazine anymore. They're reporting that the fellow who runs the Lamborghini there, Stefan Winkelmann,
Yes.
or Stefan if you want to call
Best
him.
dressed CEO in the world.
Road and Track was talking to him at the 12 Hours of Sebring, and he said that they're continuing to work on EVs. They're not sure, and blah, blah, blah. But what we're missing is a grand touring car, a two-door 2+2. Now, this surprises me because Ferrari has had this in their lineup for decades, and it has never been successful, ever. It's always been the car that they make you buy if you want to get a nicer car.
It's one of them. You got to get a Roma, and you got to get that. They've added more to the lineup.
But back in the day, it was the one. Like if you bought a 612, they would have a conversation with you about some high performance something else.
Yes, and everybody loves to say that was the car that old man Ferrari loved himself. The 2+2s, like that was it.
Enzo, the last shot of Enzo driving a car, he's in a 412, or is it a Peugeot? Anyway, the point is that Lambo says they're missing this. Aren't you astonished to hear this?
Yeah, because
A
realistically,
two-door 2+2.
right? What I feel that covers the 2+2 thing for them is the Urus. Like that is like that, and they
that's
sell
a large
Gazelle.
SUV.
Yeah, but they sell because that's what the market wants.
That's what the market wants. Who's looking for two-door 2+2s anymore? Who?
Right.
Is there anyone out there in the world? You know, whenever we say these hypotheticals and people get in the comments, like, actually, I'm looking for a $13,000 two-wheeled pickup truck.
What?
I bet you no one's going to get in these comments and be like, yeah, I want a $380,000 two-door four-seat Lamborghini.
But that's every 911.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, because those people are cross shopping with
Yeah.
Lamborghinis.
Is Lamborghini going to hop in at the $90,000 price point?
A new 911 is 125.
Okay, are they going to hop in at the
No.
125
Regardless,
price
no.
point?
No, it's a $400-something-thousand car.
They also said in that same interview that they've ruled out a sedan and a small SUV.
Well, that makes sense.
You remember the sedan, the Estoque?
Oh,
You remember
of course, pull it up.
concept? Oh,
Pull it up. I
love
still
that
have,
car.
to this day, I have a Hot Wheels of it. My kids play with it all the time. It's incredible. You know this car?
The Stoke, yeah.
Yeah.
Estoque.
This could have happened, and then Filippo screwed it all up.
I did. I went into their headquarters and said, do not build this.
You did, but I think that is so cool.
Yeah.
Because that was
would've been cool.
just before Aventador,
Yeah.
so it got all that
Had the
style.
front end. Honestly, the Lambo design, like so many of these cars, the design language translates so much better to a four-door sedan than it did to an SUV.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Urus has still, after 10 years, never been attractive. This car looked cool.
Still, look at that flare that comes out of the rear door
Yep.
for the back.
Lambo did it right, though, by not making this car. They probably
did.
got close. I mean, this looks pretty production.
Yeah,
And
agreed.
in the end, they were like, nah.
They were right not to. I mean, it wouldn't have been.
It was the wrong time. It was the recession. And then a couple years go by after the recession, the market starts changing for SUVs, and then they think about it in a slightly different.
Really, the recession? That looks so far ahead of its time.
I feel like it was 08.
I think you're correct, but that is.
That's far ahead of its time.
I mean, yeah, because these headlights kind of ended up on the Huracan, which was much later than 08. But very interesting. But
Very interesting.
Nonetheless, I agree. This is a wild thing that they feel this is what they're missing.
I
Crazy.
kind of get it. I mean, they have a small two-seat, two-door car. They have a larger one, the Temerario. They have the larger one, the Revuelto. What can you add? You already have an SUV.
Well,
You add something that's maybe a little bit
off-road
of a,
SUV.
a larger.
It wouldn't be a 2+2. No one's buying that. Name a car that's successful anymore.
The 911.
Mercedes, okay, but 125 grand.
or 250 for a turbo, right? You're not that
But
far off.
that's the Huracan. or whatever it's called now, the John Tamara.
The Tamara, yeah.
If they're thinking about it, it's interesting. If they're thinking about a 2+2 as a Ferrari California competitor, that's a different conversation. I would
Agreed.
retain
What's the
that.
Ferrari California called now? It's not the Portofino.
The
anymore.
Roma.
The Roma Spider, and then there's the Amalfi.
Amalfi, that's what it's called now. They keep moving to different coasts.
I mean,
Yep.
if they're talking about that, that's interesting. It's a different market from the angled Lamborghini design.
That's true. Yeah, it doesn't
into the Roma, which is like a relaxed kind of old guy
Yeah,
in Newport
I think-
Beach kind of car. Interested to see. Hey, pull up the Lamborghini Portofino, if you will.
I'm so sorry, what?
The Lamborghini Portofino.
familiar.
I got a trivia question for you on this one. The Lamborghini
If it's not
Portofino. Pull up the
Oh,
picture of this.
Wow.
Click
The
on that.
Chrysler Lamborghini Portofino.
Filippo, what car do you see in that?
I see a lot of Dodge and
Dodge Intrepid. You know, Chrysler and Lamborghini were best pals at this era. Then one loaned the other, who knows who. And this is a Lambo concept car.
Wow.
And they took the Lambo concept and they made
the
a
Intrepid.
Dodge Intrepid.
It had
God, they
dual
did.
scissor doors.
It had dual scissor doors. Yeah. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Can you imagine? That must have worked terribly. How could that make any sense?
It does make sense for ingress and egress to a degree. Both those completely get out of the way.
That Koenigsegg I drove was like that. Or no, it had one giant one.
But imagine having to close this. What do you go like?
Well,
like
it's
a hard thing.
insane,
It's hard.
especially because they must hinge on each other. So does that mean you have to close them at the same
Yeah.
time?
No, you close the back.
Oh, that's a
one
good
first.
point.
It doesn't make any or they latch on each other.
Yeah.
It obviously doesn't. Maybe they latch on the bottom somehow, which probably isn't allowed.
Not structurally so good, but yeah. Wow, that
that was the Lamborghini Portofino, which became the Dodge Intrepid. Think about that.
Boy, will I.
man.
Nothing else to think about.
Next news story, please.
Yes. On the topic of manual transmissions, Porsche, as we know, is selling lots of manual
What a
transmissions.
transition. Yeah,
Look,
okay.
recently, a patent had come out. Now, this isn't a new patent. This was actually submitted in 2024, but this is the first time that we're hearing about it. Do you remember the Koenigsegg ESS transmission where you'd have an automatic and a manual at the same time?
Yeah, I remember they talked about it. Is that real?
That's real. Now, Porsche also believes that you can do this, and they filed a patent for this. So the idea is that you have a lever that you can select automatic mode like anything else, or you can put it into manual mode and have a traditional H pattern. Now, it's not actually connected to the transmission. This is a totally separate unit that would be shift by wire,
Yeah.
which I'm sure Porsche purists will be very upset about, which I kind of understand. But nonetheless, like, they're looking at this, you have to imagine, because they're thinking for EVs, this could be something that they're going to offer.
I'm going to give you some bad news here. This is an EV transmission.
I agree with that. That was my analysis of that. However, I think it would be kind of cool still to be able to shift gears in an EV.
Totally.
Because if there's anything that the Ioniq 5N proved to you and I, it's that shifting it that way feels pretty organic and really cool.
Yep.
And even if we're forced to have EVs one day, if we can still row our own and they build the parameters where it can feel like a manual and engaging,
Agreed.
I think that's pretty cool technology.
It's totally cool.
You know,
Totally.
So I'm really curious to see if this comes to fruition. I mean, just because it's a patent does not mean they're going to make it, but I suspect we're going to see this in Porsche EVs in the future.
It makes sense
So
in EVs. Porsche has already hinted a few times that the Hyundai N shifting thing is something that they're interested in. They're looking into, et cetera. This has been talked about. It would make sense for Porsche, for whom people love the physical act of shifting so much, not just the pedals and the sounds, the physical thing, to be the ones who develop a manual for that purpose.
I agree. And of course, with the EV Cayman and Boxster, it's like this seems like a very natural thing to integrate into that and will upset us a lot less. So we'll see.
Maybe. It depends on how well it's done. Apparently, they would use electric motors and springs to give the shifter feedback and have interface with the engine.
If any company can be trusted to judge that correctly, it is Porsche. Porsche and Honda make the best shifters in the business.
Totally. Although I do wonder about the early integrations of this. I suspect will be interesting and maybe look back like that happened with SMT and its weird quirks.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is looked back on someday as like, that was a weird.
Maybe, but maybe it will be the beginning of something that flourishes into something else. Who knows? But we'll find out. I just love that. Unlike GM, Corvette understands they need to be offering manual transmissions in their sports cars.
Yeah, there you go. They're looking at a manual automatic.
I know.
And
I've always
not-
loved this idea conceptually.
Yeah.
Think about it since
Do you
I was
remember
a
the
young child.
MR2 with the SMT?
I don't.
What car was it that had a pattern but no clutch? That was a Saab.
There was a Saab, but there's also some Citroens that also had that same concept.
Yeah, don't forget the Ferrari Vallejo.
Porsche, that's right. The Vallejo Ferraris, of course, had.
Porsche did that also. What was it
Porsche
called?
had Sportomatic.
Sportomatic.
But
Didn't
was
that not
the
have a
same?
clutch? I don't think that had a
It didn't
clutch.
have a clutch, but was it a pattern? Anyway,
I think
there
it was.
have been a few
There
of
were a
these.
few, yeah.
Yeah.
That works even more.
The Ferrari Vallejo, the F40 Vallejo.
The F40 Vallejo built for the Agnelli family, just one of them. But I would.
That's the F40 we want.
Right.
That's right. The only automatic F40.
F40.
I wonder where that car is.
Probably worth 5x what a manual one is. Gianni Agnelli's personal car.
Yeah.
In the later years, he's taking all his mistresses in it.
Yeah, but just imagine watching him try to get into that car. Toward the end would have been really rough. And then he puts it in, he just, it's just by itself. Very impressive.
It's a lot of technology for him.
Yeah. But nonetheless, very cool.
Yeah.
On the next news story.
This is a
Z.
big one, folks. The Nissan Z has been given a minor facelift, and Filippo insisted we talk about it.
It is a minor facelift, but it is a facelift. And also, crucially, there's a new paint color, which is Unreal Green.
Oh, it is Unreal. No one's going to buy it. That's why it's Unreal.
Unreal.
I'm sorry.
Unreal. I don't know. I don't speak English good. But much more importantly, the Nismo Z will have a manual transmission.
The Nismo Z is finally getting a manual, which it should have had from day one. It's too little too late, though, because...
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. No one's buying this car. This is the end of the Z. Do you have any epilogue you want to give to the Z? A eulogy, perhaps? Or maybe an uru, as you say?
No eulogy. I've never really felt that strongly about the car, but I am excited the Nismo, which by all accounts drives quite well, will have a manual and be a little more engaging.
In 2003, when I was a 15-year-old, and the Z came out, changed the world.
Yeah.
It was the coolest car on the planet. And the G35 was the coolest other car on the planet. And this is like kind of a whimper. And you wonder if maybe Nissan should have put some money towards succeeding instead.
Well, a couple of years ago, it was kind of exciting that they did anything with it. I know that they reused the same 370Z chassis and a lot of the same components to make the Z, no number this time, a little bit more upgraded. And it looks great. It's a good-looking car. Don't see many of them.
No.
Maybe we'll see like 2 or 3 of these.
Yeah.
I'm sad because I believe that it is a wonderful car. You've driven it. I mean, it's a
good.
very competent car.
Yeah.
And it is just such a shame that it was too little too late with this thing.
I mean, it's so cool. I
think it's
suspect
cool.
it will in the end make money. Ultimately, they were using the platform of the old car and a lot of the technology of the old car. And all
Back
that
camera of the old car.
But that trick can only be used for so long. And it does kind of show where we are with sports
I
cars.
mean, that's pretty clearly that, right? Like you do one mid-cycle facelift, you let it run for another
the fact that they didn't even bother with a convertible also kind of gives you an idea of how they feel the success has gone. Many of the previous Zs have had convertibles.
But good news, new wheels.
New wheels. You can get Unreal Green,
And I
as
don't know if
Filippo
you-
calls it.
I don't know if you've noticed them.
Unreal,
It's
I
very
don't
hard to see in the picture, but the tires actually say Nissan on them. You can't really see
Really?
if it says Nissan.
How about that,
right here.
Filippo?
So I don't know if that's something that they're actually partnering with,
Nope,
or that's just
Photoshop.
I imagine that is just Photoshop.
There's also a tan interior color.
so green tan. That is
Green
the
tan,
color
that's the
combo.
color.
Many years ago, I was at the Porsche museum there. And there's a Porsche with Porsche crests in the tires.
Oh.
And it also has the top, it's a zipper.
Ooh.
It's called the Panamera. You want to look it up?
No.
Not really, but sure.
Panamericana. Okay. Now you're thinking to yourself, there's no way this car has Porsche crest in the tires and the top is a zipper.
Porsche.
That's what you're thinking, right?
Right.
Huh?
Oh,
Prepare-
this thing, yeah.
Wow.
There's the tires. Zoom on in. You can see the Porsche crest in that back tire.
Man, what a car.
All right, and then you go to the. You can see the roof.
You can see the
that
zipper.
purple is one giant zipper, and you can unzip it.
Oh,
and
that's
drive
so
it around.
cool.
Yeah, I saw this once there at the museum.
Are you sad they didn't make it?
I thought to myself, boy, this company's had some terrible ideas over the years.
It's probably
it's
really
a
light.
wonder that this company still exists in any capacity. Look at it from the rear 3/4. That's the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life.
No, I
looks
bet
like it got hit.
It's somewhere between a
does
9
look like it got
and
hit.
3.
Probably it got hit because it lost traction due to the fact that the tires are Porsche crests.
Also, those are some wide tires.
Well, they
Or
look
narrow
wide.
Well, it has no body weight.
Yeah.
Of course they look
But
wide.
the top is very light. So that's good.
Yeah, right up until your zipper gets some stuff in it, and then you can never use it.
But exactly.
like a
You have to-
YJ.
You have to take it to the zipper guy. He's the zipper guy. Wow.
All right, I don't know why that came up, but I owe the tires. Love Porsche.
Yeah, sure. Good reason if any. All right, quick recommendation for your next drive. And I mean this genuinely. This is right up our alley. There's a podcast called Drive with Jim Farley. Yes, the Ford CEO, Jim Farley. And look, how often do you actually get this kind of unfiltered access to someone running one of the biggest car companies in the world? The podcast is him sitting down with fascinating people, talking about cars and what actually drives them to succeed. Daniel Ricciardo's on it. Sir Chris Hoy, the Olympic cycling legend turned racing driver, is on it. The guests alone are worth it. I checked out a few episodes, and it's the kind of car conversation that doesn't feel like a press junket. It's genuine, it goes deep, and coming from someone with Jim Farley's seat at the table, the perspective is pretty unique. It's exactly what you want queued up for a long highway stretch. To listen to Drive with Jim Farley, just search for Drive with Jim Farley in your podcast app. That's Drive with Jim Farley.
I've been wearing Chubbies for a long time, like genuinely before it was cool to admit that you preferred slightly shorter shorts. Once you go to Chubbies, you just don't go back. The fabric is unreal. They dry insanely fast. They go from water to whatever without missing a beat. And I've worn mine for a very long time. And this year is actually Chubbies' 15th anniversary. And they're bringing back the originals, the shorts that started it all. The same iconic fit, the same stretchy comfort first design. 15 years and over 2.6 million customers later, they clearly got it right from day one. For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our listeners 20% off with the code DOUG at chubbiesshorts.com. That's 20% off your order with the code DOUG. Don't be stingy, show some skin with Chubbies. Support our show and tell them that we sent you.
Next story, please. This is something, Filippo.
Yeah, we spoke last week about how a new Mercedes minivan is coming to America and was just revealed, which is the VLE. We've now gotten confirmation that there'll be a Maybach VLE, or the Maybach VLS, actually.
Wow.
It'll be larger than the VLE, obviously, VLE, VLS. Maybe there'll be a VLC someday. But it will be, all we know is that it will be a purpose-built VIP shuttle, and we think that it will have a lot of screens.
Well,
we can move on to the next news story.
It's very compelling. Wow. How exciting. A purpose-built VIP shuttle. So you don't have to build one yourself.
A lot of people have converted the Metris into like a Maybach Metris. You reviewed one.
Yeah.
Now Maybach will make a large
their
van
own
themselves.
van, which looks better and it's going to be better.
Yeah.
A Maybach van. This is going to be. It's $200,000 is the number that's being bandied about.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, pretty big, but it's a purpose-built VIP shuttle, and most importantly, I can't wait to review one because that video is going to blow up. Sean's going to be like, "Yeah, we hit the numbers."
And also about 2 years after it comes out, you can buy for $55,000.
Yeah, but can you imagine, Filippo, all this stuff? There's going to be a fish tank in this van. There's going to be a fish tank in this van.
There better be, and it'll have 100 miles range.
Do you think they would ever do an AMG version of it and give us the R63 back in our lives?
Wow.
I bet they will make a Mercedes Maybach VLS with EQ technology AMG.
Perfect.
Some combination of those words.
Right, only 75 characters for the name.
You don't think this is pure electric?
Of course it is, but they'll still call it with EQ technology, won't they?
Mercedes
Maybach
it's VLS with EQ technology.
No, because the electric, pure electrics, that don't share body platform.
I'm wondering if it isn't going to... Is the van fully electric?
Yeah.
Do we know these vans, like the ID Buzz?
The VLE has been revealed as fully electric. The VLS is technically a different model, so we don't know.
Man, you know what I hope they have? I hope they have cobblestone flooring.
I bet they will.
I believe it was a Cadillac that had that at one point.
Yeah, famously.
It was a rare option. Only one's come to market with it.
It'd be nice to see that here in the van. Next news story, please.
All right. Jerry McGovern. He formerly of Jaguar.
Jaguar Land Rover. This is...
Sure.
You are not giving enough credence.
He designed the Defender. He designed the new Range Rovers. He's done it all.
He designed the new Defender. Jerry McGovern did a lot of stuff, and he's just announced that he's leaving Jaguar Land Rover. We reported about 6 months ago that he had been fired, and then 2 weeks later, they were like, "Oh no, he wasn't fired. No, wrong."
Awfully sorry.
Well, now he's finally decided he's retiring. He's 70 years old. He's going to move on to his own.
He's starting his own consultancy.
What all car designers do when they retire from car designing, they're going to do a consultancy where they do a little bit of work designing the finishing touches of bread makers.
For a lot of money.
For a lot of money.
Works out.
And Jerry McGovern. And he's designed some of the all-time great vehicles, including, and this is what it says on his Wikipedia, he was the lead designer of the critically acclaimed Land Rover Freelander.
That was a good-looking car.
Folks, we're losing this great mind to designing bread makers. This is. Oh, if we sold a Freelander,
We have, of course.
How lovely. Jerry
It's a good-looking car.
Jerry McGovern, that orange reflector, same as my Ford GT.
I remember when these came out, and they were great-looking cars. I love the Freelander.
You know, that's true. They were actually good looking.
For the era
and
of
it was
SUV,
popular.
is something.
It's funny how they all disappeared.
Has not aged well either. Well, they all disappeared because they were notoriously unreliable.
Horrible cars. Absolutely horrible cars. In fact, if you bought this one, I'm sorry.
I had a friend in Italy
Thank you.
whose mom had a Freelander when they came out. They were rich, obviously.
I remember in Philly, there was one in a consulate with Italian
Yes.
consulate plates, and it was a manual diesel.
That's right.
Those days are.
By the way, there are a couple of other pieces of Jaguar news out this week.
Oh, yeah.
Ian Callum, who was the design director from 1999 to 2019.
Yes.
And a famous person. Revealed that they had designs for a new XF, a new XJ, a redesigned F-Type, and a redesigned F-Pace that were ready. I don't know if they were ready from an engineering perspective,
But they were
ready, and like they were going to move forward. And then at the end, they scrapped them all for the Type 00 concept.
Now, I want to be deferential to Ian Callum because the man designed one of the all-time great vehicles ever, the Volvo C70,
Which gen?
the good one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he designed quite a few good cars. V8 Vantage.
Yeah, there were a lot
I
of
always thought that was Peter Horbury. No, it's
DB9.
both of them. Regardless, Ian Callum did the DB7 too, which we have to give the man his credit. That is the finest $18,000 car you can purchase.
Are they that much?
But no, he did the F-Type, which I think actually was a true contribution to modern car design, and a bunch of other beautiful cars.
Yeah.
Those cars wouldn't have sold. So like, it's great that they came up with. Everybody's so upset with Jaguar for going in this new direction. They were failing.
Yeah.
A new XF wasn't going to be it. If they had come out with a new XF, it wouldn't have been like the savior of the company. It wouldn't be sitting here being like, Jaguar's good now. They redesigned the XF.
Yep. Good looking car though.
Yeah, it was good looking. They sold 6 of them.
You know what was also a good looking car? The E-Pace, but nobody's ever seen one.
No, the E-Pace was not a good looking car.
You don't like the E-Pace?
Stubby little thing. Ian Callum didn't touch that, I promise you.
Regardless, Jaguar.
Jaguar, we'll see how that all shakes down. Again, been more than a year. We're still waiting for their new product Onslaught to come. I have a suspicion we'll be waiting for a long time. In the meanwhile, Land Rover dealerships are still rocking. They still have good products, such as the Discovery Sport.
And the Evoque, the
Velar,
the Velar, which is
the
still
Velar
available.
and the Evoque have been forgotten about. Land Rover has forgotten that they produce
Yeah,
them, but
they
I'm here to
have.
tell you that they do.
There is still a new Evoque, right? You can
Yeah.
fill out.
Yeah. Okay, next news story, please.
Mercedes-Benz. For those of you who truly know us, we're not actually a Porsche podcast. We're a Mercedes-Benz podcast.
I own one.
Former owner. We have we love Mercedes-Benz. They have announced that. You remember this came out last year. They announced that they were doing a concept AMG GT track sport, not track leisure, track sport.
Yeah.
All right.
So now they have announced that they're going to do a black series, a new black series. We haven't had one since 2021, so we're kind of due. And then they're going to do a homologation version of that for GT racing specifically, which is really cool. Now, they've been talking about this for a while. We still don't have a lot of details on this. You should have read the press release. It was unbelievable, very difficult to read.
Yeah, I had it pulled up. It was complicated.
Sorry, what was the 2021 Black Series?
The
AMG
the previous AMG GT Black Series.
It was a
Set the
Black
Nürburgring line.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a serious car.
It's a very serious
That
car.
is
It
a
looks like
no-joke car.
It looks
sold?
modified
Yes.
from the factory. It's insane.
Pull it up. That was a really desirable, cool, special car.
We see them occasionally.
Yeah.
Really?
Huge wing. Yeah. You don't remember this? It set the Nürburgring production time. It may still stand.
That thing.
Oh,
Orange
that
is
was
a-
called the Black Series? I thought it was called...
There were various
Something else.
versions of that AMG GT, but the toppy was the Black Series.
And it is wild. One of the craziest wings ever put on a road car. Until the new GT3 RS, to be honest with you. Look at
Seriously.
that wing. That's crazy. But anyway, a new Black Series is coming. And I do think it's cool that they're going to homologate it and go GT3 racing with it. Now, they're testing the car currently. They've tested it at the Nordschleife. They've tested it at Portimao and a couple other European tracks. So they're getting closer. Development is certainly getting there. It's going to have a V8 engine, which is lovely to hear. But we do have a ways to go on this. They said the GT3 will be allegedly ready for the 2027 racing season, so we're close. But so some follow, stay in the space. We'll certainly see more of these cars.
It gives a little credibility to the car.
It does.
The previous Black Series had series cred because of the Nürburgring time. It was a cool car. But going racing gives credibility to the car.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, Mercedes-Benz for 20 years now has been looking at the 911 thinking, how do we get in on that? And they've been trying and trying and trying. And it's never really been successful.
Yeah.
But this is one way to do it, is is to go racing and then create a car based on the racing car. Obviously, Porsche does that with their GT3 and GT3 RS to massive success financially and weightless and reputationally.
All homologation cars are cool that you take for racing. They're all cool.
GR Yaris.
Yes, that is a very cool car.
Yaris.
Yep.
But this I'm excited about. I love seeing another Black Series come to the lineage. So we'll see where this develops, but in the meantime, it's coming, and they gave us some colors too.
Now, I actually, by the way, the new AMG GT is essentially an SL coupe. It's not the most desirable car. It's not as cool as the previous gen. However, I think it looks better, and I do think that a GT version of the current AMG GT probably will look really cool. These spy shots give a preview of it, and they look pretty cool in the spy shots.
They do.
Hopefully, they don't offer this color scheme.
Maybe they should.
You know what? Someone is going to recreate this in Miami. They're going to drive around looking like this.
Totally.
But all right, next news story. So Rolls-Royce has also announced something new. So they are introducing their Coachbuild collection. Now, I don't know if you remember the Sweet Tail and the Boat Tail. Do you remember those one-offs that Rolls-Royce did?
I think about them all the time.
So they are now offering something along those lines. They're being a little bit cagey about what it is, but they said they wanted to bring their clients closer and bring them behind the scenes, to be close to the engineers and experience, I love this, they said, extreme weather conditions in their cars. Exactly what every Rolls-Royce owner wants. Makes no sense. Like the press release on this is one of the crazier ones I've read. But they said they'll be welcome into the ateliers of master craftspeople from adjacent worlds within super luxury, whose dedication to perfection mirrors that of Rolls-Royce.
Quite a quote.
God, AI. AI and PR are the worst combination that has ever existed in corporate world.
I couldn't agree with you more. It was like just hard to read. But nonetheless, I do think it is cool that they're offering more atelier program. Now, I'm hoping what this means is they're going to do a lot more. It's everything they said is going to be based on the electric. Like that's
which makes sense. Then you can get they've said that they will be fully homologated and road legal throughout the world. And so start with EV makes that so much easier.
Exactly. But to do, I love the idea of going back and doing coach building, like traditional one-off. I mean, that's
give me a Dario Franchitti. Dario's got
Dario knows
race car driver. He's got a Rolls-Royce Wraith with a shooting brake.
Yes.
And let's do that. I'll take a Spectre shooting brake. And I'll pay up to $125,000.
Well, 10x that, and you're maybe in the ballpark.
I don't even think. I can only imagine what.
I don't think Dario paid $125,000.
They've said that the Coachbuild collection will only be offered to clients with a deep affinity for Rolls-Royce design.
In other words, very
rich and
in other words, anyone they can find who's willing to do it and has the money.
Exactly.
That's a translation of that, if you needed to.
Yeah, deep pockets. But nonetheless, very cool. And Rolls-Royce as a brand makes a lot of sense to do this with.
By the way, they also said that there'll be people that participate will be able to join the engineers at top secret test facilities. What top secret test facilities do you think Rolls-Royce has?
Top secret.
Yeah, top secret. What are they developing there? A new ashtray?
Right. Top secret.
They're developing a new Neuralink
God,
technique.
what a press release. Rolls-Royce really trying to get people into the whole thing.
Yeah.
The British have that mystique, though. All right, is that our last news story?
That is the end of the news.
There is one more big news story. Filippo, say it.
All right, after almost 6 years of Doug touching every single auction that comes on Cars and Best.
I touched them all.
You touched them all. you wrote many Doug's takes. You edited many Doug's takes. The Doug's take is going away.
We're getting rid of the Doug's take this week. By the time you watch this, it won't be gone, but it's going to be gone soon.
Starting Monday.
The Doug's Take. We've been writing these Doug's Takes forever. So when the Doug's Take first came out in the auctions, I wrote a little blurb. Yeah, pull up the Daytona. I wrote a little blurb about every car that went live. And usually it was like, this car is cool.
Hold on, let me find your first car. Because I'll find the very first auction that we did.
And it was always like, we got something going on.
There it is. E63.
First auction. There's my first Doug's Take.
Now, they started out pretty tame.
They started out so
often they were just a sentence or two. They were cheeky. They were funny. But as we've grown and we're now selling like 50 cars a day, it's gotten to the point where it's not feasible to write anything meaningful. We've how many E39 M5s we sold? How many E46 M3s we sold? Where you talk about the S54 6-cylinder and the handling prowess.
I could say something different about every E39 M5. We'll move on.
And he said some
of us, I have, and he takes it all out. Yeah.
But ultimately, it just is not value additive anymore. Our community tells us they don't really read it anymore. They've become too generic because it's not really easy to add that much value. And so we're taking the Doug's Takes out. Also, the comments, the community has grown so much that the comments provide what the Doug's Take was intended to provide in the first place, which is like sort of this kind of personal, interesting tidbit. But the commenters know more about the individual cars than me. And so the Doug Steak's going away. This is,
Will it appear on any like really special cars?
no, but I've decided I'm going to comment more because I want to still make sure that I see all the cars. I still want to look at all the auctions. It's very important to me. With 35,000 auctions, something like that.
Yeah, it's just about 36,000.
So, it's still important to me. So I'm still going to like be there and I'm going to try to comment more and like really be a part of it. But I'm certainly not. It just got silly that I'm every 100 Series Land Cruiser. I'm talking about the combination of luxury and reliability and off-road capability. It's just not, it's not even believable. It's like silly at this point.
Fundamentally, it's become a blocker to sellers, right? Like you do an incredibly good job of touching every single listing.
But it takes quickly,
often
an extra day. I'm traveling. It takes,
just slows it down.
So the cars are going to be able to go through the process probably about a day quicker on average, since we don't have to wait for Doug anymore.
And you get time back every single day to make better content. To make more content.
I actually bet in the end I won't get time back because I'm still going to just be perusing the listings to try to leave a little comment on the ones that I find the most interesting. But I think even that will be more appropriate for the purpose that the Doug's Take originally had. Like I'm actually saying something about the cars that are interesting, saying interesting things about the cars that are interesting, rather than dropping on every car like, it's finished in this cool color and has a clean Carfax. And it wasn't.
It's offered with the thrill of no reserve.
That's right. That's right.
It just got too generic, and I don't think anybody's going to mourn the loss of this. But we wanted to tell you about it.
Nope. You've been doing this for 6 years, and for 5 of those, I've been begging to get rid of the Doug's Take. I'm glad that you will have some more freedom, and you will still be involved with the cars. You're not going anywhere. So
that's right.
It's exciting.
Now, we have a big Talk Cars segment today.
We
do. But first, I want to tell you the Talk Cars segment is brought to you by the Mega Track.
I'm sorry. I'm familiar, but I'm sorry.
Kennan, pull up the Mega Track, please. No, trust me, we've never sold one of these.
I figured.
Okay, just type in Mega. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
All right, the Mega Track. This is part of my.
Was it like CK?
Segment. No, space. Mega is actually the brand. The Mega Track. Pull up this picture.
Yep.
There's some picture. Oh, here. Pull up this picture. Pull up the one. Yes, this.
Yeah.
The Mega Track was an off-road supercar that I believe was French, and they made maybe 10, 12, and it's huge.
To be fair, why is that other? What is that other?
I think that car's there because I think it's another Mega.
But it's like the small Mega. But it's lifted, so that's nice.
That's even worse than like the big Mini.
It had suspension set. I pull back out. There's other great photos. The Mega Track. Look at this. This photo here. The Mega Track is actually in the background. You don't realize it, but it's huge.
What powered this thing?
I don't remember. This one here, on plates from Vienna in Austria. Oh, there, that picture. That one is seen in Monaco sometimes, but that picture, you can see how big it is.
It's a 120.
Thanks to an F40, it's like laughable. It's like truly embarrassing. It was supposed to be an off-road supercar. Of course, it wasn't successful at anything, including selling. The Mega Track.
How did you go? Where did this come from?
You must have had some time to do some reading recently. There it is in Monaco.
The Talk Cars segment today. There's the Mega Track next to a Yukon Denali. And look how big it looks.
Well, that is very
These cars
funny.
are both in Vienna. Look at this thing.
Were those Audi or Porsche taillights? Were those from a 968 or from an Audi A4?
The Mega Track was developed ground up by the finest connoisseurs.
No,
in
I mean my
supercar
question.
Manufacturing
Because that could go either way.
The corporation of Mega. This picture also, I think, really illustrates what the Mega Track was capable of.
Wow.
Do you have problems handling your supercar? Do you accidentally end up off-road? Well, this one's the one for you.
Exactly. You don't have to worry about it getting scratched or whatever because it can go anywhere and do anything. This was the Storado before the Storado, although it was actually 2 Storados, size-wise.
I mean, here's another one.
Track.
Normal traffic. Look at that.
It's so ridiculously absurd. Yeah, that one on Vienna plates is apparently seen around Monaco here and there. Someone's driving around. It's a 400 horsepower Mercedes V12. Must have been terrible.
Shout out to Shmee, who filmed that car in 2011.
Yeah, shout out to
Shmee, but he's filmed it going by. Someone's got to do a quirks and features.
Yeah.
We got to get a Mega Track video. Oh, there's a 959 next to it.
Let's get you to Austria.
Let's get there.
Look how big.
Those were the 2 off-road super.
That, by the way, is a 143 scale Porsche. Still giant.
Can't believe someone made a 143 scale Mega Track. 143 scale Mega Track wouldn't fit on this table.
With the Phantom.
It's so much bigger than
It's so hard to understand the scale.
It's so stupid. the most idiot car ever made.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much.
The Mega Track.
I had no idea. I'm going to go read about this.
There's you can do a deep dive. The company was called Axiom, but their line of vehicles was called Mega, and then the Track.
Right.
And then the Track.
There were others. There was also like the Mega whatever, and the Mega. It wasn't just the Axiom Mega Track.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway,
thank
that's
you
our
for that.
car
That's
segment.
a great.
They're
talk
currently
for-
the leader in quadricycles in France.
Oh wow!
Well, I went from that to
Which,
quadricycle.
aka the cars that teenagers can drive. With
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what you do? You take your Mega Track to the quadricycle dealership for service.
Right. Quadricycle. Mega Track.
You pull up next to the shop. They're not big enough. The shop's not even big enough to fit the Mega Track.
I want you guys to know that they currently offer a Mega product still, the Axiom brand. It is like a lifted.
I want the Track. In this picture, that's the Lotus Europa. It's parked next to it. They're actually next to it. I want to talk
It's
about
the
Slate.
e-Scouty Evo.
I want to talk about Slate. You remember Slate?
Of course.
Yeah, what are you going to say about this? Because I see what's written in the doc, and I don't.
I got a Slate story for you. It's a Slate story, but it's a Slate story.
Nice.
Do you remember a couple of months ago they did that video where the CEO
yes.
was
Answered
like
questions.
answered questions. One of the questions, when can Doug DeMuro review? Do you
Yeah.
remember what her answer was? Whenever he wants. So for the last 2 months, I've been working with the Slate people trying to figure out a day to review it. And we've set on a date, and then they bailed and pushed the date. And we set a date, and we bailed, and they pushed the date, set a date, bailed, pushed it. It's happened 3 or 4 times. And the most recent was, how about June or July? This was supposed to happen in February.
Wow.
In addition to that, that woman is no longer the CEO.
She's the president.
She's the founder, no longer CEO. They hired a CEO.
She's the president.
And of course, the price of these trucks has increased significantly, which is one of the problems when you kind of make your announcement around the pricing based on the incentives,
credit,
which
yeah.
could go away. And so I wonder, whenever he wants to review it, has now been push. Like, how we doing? How we doing over
I
there?
think the answer is not well.
I personally am hoping they do another Wes Anderson style thing where she answers a bunch of questions because I really enjoyed that. But I do want, everybody wants to see you review this thing. So June, July, so that means it's going to be fall.
Yeah, the fall.
The fall. Maybe winter of next
Well,
year.
that's the thing. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, what she said, whenever we want. And then they were scheduling it. We had March 6th on the books.
Jay Leno did it a month ago.
Where's Doug? They're not afraid of Jay. I don't think they're afraid of Jay. Like, Jay drives the car. He's like, whatever, tell me about the car. The CEO goes on Jay's video, talks about the car.
That's right.
Doug doesn't do any of that. Doug actually pokes into the things, and you watch Doug's Prelude video and you start thinking, maybe we don't give him one of these. Maybe we're a little nervous about what he's going to say. But that makes me nervous about the state of this company, and they obviously are probably also nervous because of the EV incentive no longer makes their product as compelling as it once was.
I mean, we talked about when they first announced it.
Yeah.
Producer Sean and I went up to Orange County to their launch party.
That's right.
And we talked about it that week, and we were a little skeptical that it would be an appealing proposition at the price they stated, which was $20,000 with tax credit, something like that. So high 20s without. They've since said that they'll be in the mid 20s.
Yep.
Or so they've lowered it a little bit, but no tax credit anymore.
Yep.
It's not a compelling proposition at that price point. It's like the range is too low, the power's too low,
That's
the
right.
equipment's
Two-door.
too low. It's small. It's a niche segment. The Maverick exists.
The Maverick
Sorry.
exists for 30 with a 4-door. I could just go get a Volkswagen Severo. But I'm glad you went to the launch. You don't even say anything about that. I'm glad you went to the launch party because Kennan also went to that launch party with Emily. And afterwards was a lovely evening in Los Angeles for the two of them.
We did not go to that, but Filippo did get a tattoo while he was there because they were offering that tattoo booth. Do you remember that?
I remember the tattoo booth. I did not get a tattoo.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I'm not a tattoo
But you could have
guy.
commemorated when you got to see the Slate.
Anyway, I'm a little bit
He hasn't
nervous.
seen
I did get some ice cream. That was nice.
A little bit nervous about the Slate situation.
As we all are.
A little bit nervous.
Yeah. It's
Speaking of Slate and Amazon, who is a majority or minority partner.
They're an investor.
The other day, I'm driving around
Yeah.
there, and I see an Amazon delivery truck
Really?
with a Montana license plate on it.
Huh. Now, we're not in Montana.
Oh, no.
We're in Southern
right
California.
here in California.
Interesting.
Now, it was a Montana temporary license plate. Here's a theory. I'm going to give a theory. I'm not saying they're doing this, but here's what I would do if I was Amazon trying to limit my tax liability. You set up a business in Montana. You buy the trucks from the Montana business.
Which LLC creation business do you think they're using?
I think they got their own.
They're calling LLC
Not
TLC.
$49.99.
You buy the trucks in your Montana business, And then after they've been titled in Montana, no sales tax, you flip them to another state where you happen to sell the car for $1. And in that state, that's the price you paid because your Montana business sold it to your California business for $1. That's just what I might do if I was trying to limit my tax liability and I was a giant company. But it was interesting to me because California last week was cracking down on a dentist in Fremont for doing Montana on his Aventador. And here I am seeing this Amazon truck with a Montana plate. And I'm like, that's interesting. And it's a temporary plate. So they're waiting for title. So the moment they get Montana title, what would you do if you were a large company trying to limit your tax?
What's interesting here is I would be stunned if they purchased the trucks.
You just leased them?
They would lease them from themselves. I mean, fundamentally, they would have a financier that is probably themselves own them. That makes it interesting. I remember most Amazon trucks have the digital California license plates.
I don't want to speak to what's going on. It's interesting. The other interesting
Some
thing
people
with
are asking questions. That's all I'm saying.
It's merely an observation.
The other interesting
Gotten a lot
thing,
of
the
questions about
California
it.
license plates have finally switched
I know,
to the
but
new
so sad.
format. The end of the 9 series has been reached. This started in 1980. They've switched. I got the very first one. The photo that you see, no, I have it. It's at my house. The photo that you see right now is me with the very first one. How did I pull it off? You'll never know.
Did it actually ever arrive?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was on the Ford GT. It was registered to the Ford GT for a little while.
Right.
I never put it on. I got the first one. So California has made us after 46 long years in the same license plate format, the switch has been made. This is a massive news story, people.
So up until now, it's been number, 3 letters, 3 numbers.
Yeah.
And now it's what?
Just flip the opposite. It's really not interesting. But this is
three
a big deal.
3 letters, 3 numbers, 1 number.
I'm only mentioning this news story because I got the first one. I'm not mentioning it for any other
It's a big
purpose.
deal, period.
Are you jealous that I have the first one?
No, but I'm really sad that I never saw a 9Y plate. Or a 9Z plate, rather. I actually haven't seen a 9Y plate.
You will see 9Ys. It seems
know,
like
I
they
will.
skipped 9Z.
It's so sad to me. I wanted to see 9Z.
Well, hey,
I was
if you're
like
looking for 3
preparing.
plates, you'd find that you'll never see a 3Z either. Let me tell you something, or a 1Z. Let me tell you something.
Isn't 1Z a truck plate?
No, let me tell you something. As the person who got the very first one, I'm proud of the new format. Love it. Obviously, it all kind of started with me.
Yeah.
I consider myself the founder of the format, really. It's hard as a founder.
I wonder
they
if feel
skip
the
one?
California DMV are like, they were going through, it's like, oh my God, somebody took it. It's this guy.
First one, it was a random chance.
All right, we
I
can't
happened
issue
to
that
walk into the AAA office down by my house in San Ysidro, Modesto, and there they were. The previous guy got the last one, and I got the first one. It was pure chance.
Are they starting with A000AAA? No, they're not.
No, it's the first one is 000AA1. We've been showing it on the screen
apologies.
for the last 15 minutes.
It's the second one.
I meant to bring it in today, but I
000AA2?
forgot. But it's at my house. No, the first number is going to be like the last number. The last number is going to be like the first number was.
Do you understand that?
No.
The last number is going to be like the first number was, like the age identifier, basically.
Right. But what plate
so
are they starting?
0 is going to be first, then
000AA1,
I didn't know if they-
AA1.
I don't know if they were skipping some.
No, they didn't
Okay.
skip. They gave me the first one. And by the
still
way,
valid,
it's
you think?
000 because California starts each series with 000, as some states do. Are you happy about this?
I think I got to go get a vanity plate and then return to a regular plate to get a new one.
Maybe.
I need to buy a card, maybe.
So you're going to, the great irony of this is you can't put this on any car because then it looks like you just got it, which
Well, I
that'd be
also
cool.
You
think
disavow.
that at this point, California probably won't let me have this plate anymore. It's just going to be in my garage. It's just going to go up on my garage wall as a souvenir of the time that I started it all.
Well, I'll say a couple of things. One, I didn't care at all about license plates until you came into my
Yeah.
life,
Now
and that's
you
all I
know.
look at.
It's
That's all I
helpful.
look
It's
at.
helpful.
It is helpful.
Especially in California where they stay with the car.
I agree.
Because you can tell who's a little sketch and who's not.
Totally.
Right.
But I feel that it is notable. I feel this is like a California thing to see the plates switch over. Like when you moved here, is like to know what sequence they were in.
980s.
And now we've all gotten to see them switch, like do the big switch that we've been waiting for.
Yep.
a long
Big day for Filippo.
So it's a big day.
My 911 has WXP, 9 WXP.
Yeah, Filippo.
And it's really
You
time to
need
get
to-
it.
it's
Get
time.
it.
What are you going to
It's
do
not
about the
like-
wheels?
Well, I'm selling my BBSs. I have a
On
buyer for them.
Instagram.
I have a buyer for them. He actually reached out via email like early on.
What are you going to do about the wheels in the
Answer.
car? They're gray painted.
So my BBSs are sold.
Yeah.
I have to ship them out, but they're sold. My wheels that were the OE wheels were refinished by the prior owner, and he never put them back on the car.
He
And I think
refinished them in brake dust.
unfortunately, they're a little
This is exactly
matte
Did he
and
just
dark.
PPA? He just got them really brake dusty, then he PPF'd them.
right.
brake
And he
dust.
didn't think about the center caps.
The center
aren't
caps are a
like
little
that.
different
They're
color. So in this
silver.
light, it's maybe acceptable. In other
Nope.
lights, it's
Nope.
not. At some
see it from
point,
here.
I will refinish them.
Now, here's the great.
He's
now,
not gonna.
Of course I will at some
You're
point.
not going to.
Never
and B,
will.
The time to do that was, I don't know, when the car was on another set of wheels.
I didn't.
That was the time.
We didn't know how bad they were.
You couldn't tell in the box how bad they were.
No, but you could've
Also,
put those
I was
center
getting-
caps in. You
I was
could've
getting
seen.
a lot of pressure to change out the BBS.
I know,
at the time.
but you.
I now regret it and honestly wish that the car was still on the BBS.
No, I like those. I like the OE wheels.
so bad.
Ryan,
they're
don't
give this to Ryan.
They're like
They're a
just
little dark.
slightly gray.
They're
it's
a
like
little gray.
it really messes with you.
I
He
will
needs-
get them
you need
redone. The
today.
issue is that I don't want to go without the car. I drive the car every day, and I want to keep driving the car every day. And
Do
it's
you
gonna-
drive?
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know what?
Close.
Here's
I mean,
it's gonna.
I'm
Your
sure
truck.
there's some days I don't.
Your
but
pickup truck is on the way
Yep.
from Arizona.
It's getting shipped,
When
yeah.
that gets here, send the 911 in and get the wheels fixed.
At some point,
Because you
soon,
have
I
to
will
drive
get
around
the
in a
wheels.
carbureted. You have to sleep in the
But
bed you have
first-
made and drive
first
around
I
a
need to
carbureted
buy
pickup.
new wheels for the pickup truck because they're 16 and a half.
When is the pickup truck coming here?
It should be getting picked up today, tomorrow.
Filippo's just.
It's coming here this week.
Yeah. Maybe early next.
We're just
yeah.
finding this out now. It's Wednesday
I
when
don't
we're
think
filming this.
I have it as an item on here for that reason.
I think it was supposed to be here. I've been hearing it's going to be here this week for 3
No,
weeks now.
I paid for a shipper yesterday. It's coming.
Damn. So this is like real.
Yep.
Filippo's going to be a carbureted man like you. What do you have to say? about that?
I will be honest here. I need to get it titled. It does not need to pass smog, which is great. And I do need to get new wheels and tires quickly because I can't really drive it that much.
I mean, you just mired in wheel and tire
I
problems.
know.
It's incredible.
I know.
Well, what's the wheel and tire issue on this? Does it bolt up to other Ford wheels? I mean, let's throw on some.
Oh, yeah,
let's throw on
no.
some of the Pope
Putting-
Fusion wheels.
Putting it, the Pope apparently had a manual fusion, according
Who
to Jim
did?
Farley. I wish I did. I almost bought one on Craigslist years ago.
You and the Pope. It was probably
I know.
probably ex-Pope.
Fully.
Oh,
It was in
ex-Pope
Wisconsin.
provenance.
It was in Madison. So
You know what?
Dude, that
So
thing
maybe.
was ex-Pope.
It could have been ex-Pope.
Man, that's crazy.
Pope John Paul-
What gen Ford Fusion? Because multiple gens had a manual.
I think
all
it was
gens had a manual.
I think it was the 2010 that pre redesign, but like the good
Post
facelift.
Yeah, that was the one I was.
Dude,
not
you
joking.
were
It could
bought
have
an
been
Pope. John Paul,
Pope.
Pope John Paul's like Fiat Uno on
Yeah.
eBay one time sold for like $2 million. This could have been you.
Imagine the Ford Fusion, the worst car.
You missed out.
Love the Uno.
Or maybe the Vatican want it back, put it in the museum.
There you go.
You know, that with yeah.
The truck is coming though. Finding new wheels will not be a problem. Just it's a family process. So there are many.
It's a family process. The family's got to be consulted on which wheels they.
How is that? All right. Well, I got so many questions. I'm just going to let you have that.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that.
They got hey family, hey what is everybody? So we're gonna take a family vote on which set
Today's
of
family meeting,
$212 used wheels and tires we're getting.
If
We're gonna
anybody
go down to
has-
Sandy
family.
Seed Row.
It's you and your wife are the ones that have this thing.
Yeah.
Like all that matters is her
gotta-
opinion.
you
I
gotta-
don't think she cares about this.
She's family.
Yeah, of course she is, but like I don't think she cares about the wheel.
Other people.
Are they round? That would be her question.
That would be an important component.
I will say you can really screw up the wheels on that truck if you get the wrong ones
I agree.
because the truck. But you will undoubtedly do that.
I want to be clear. It's also not on the OE wheels. It's on some,
oh, it's on some aftermarket.
Yeah, from like the
Great.
90s though. It's
Get
still
get the
6.5.
97. Pull up. Can you pull up an Explorer, please?
I will absolutely not get the. I know your wheels, Matt.
Did you say 97?
No, on Cars and Bids because we're trying to push that website on people.
Yeah.
On this podcast.
It's carsandbids.com.
Carsandbids.com.
There's an app, I think.
Yeah,
There is.
Just
so
for iPhone.
go down. The wheels I like. The wheels I like a lot of wheels, but the ones I want you to get. Click on Matt Explorer.
Oh,
Actually, the
yeah.
red one. Click on the red one. I don't want to see the white one. I want the red one. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I liked these because they had sort of this like teardroppy, raindroppy situation.
They are cool.
Are you a 5-lug? Probably not.
I honestly don't remember. I assume not though. Haven't looked at wheels.
Look at these things still on Firestones.
Wow.
This is a
That's it.
nostalgia play. You can drive around in your Explorer and get
Also,
killed.
those must
Look
be
at
the
the
original tires.
Jeez,
Jeez
oh my
Louise.
God.
That looks like a map. It's really bad. Oh
Man,
Lord.
that-
Are those the
what-
original tires?
How many miles
Probably.
did this have on it?
This one had
When did we
It was
foist
2000
this on someone?
2,000 miles
unsuspecting?
TMU though.
With a salvage title?
This is an unusual one.
10
I
grand.
paid 10 G's.
How did this one not get cash for clunkered?
Seriously.
Don't you wonder?
2,000 miles. That might be real. It's pretty
I
clean.
mean, it looks pretty clean.
That's how the seats look to OE.
Yeah, so that's a good.
Damn.
That was
Filippo,
unusual.
grab those wheels. Okay, Kennan has much more to talk about. I don't know why we've been talking about. We've been sitting here talking about California license plates and Filippo's brake
Well,
dust.
that's how it works. You guys talk and I listen. But we'll
Tell us about the SL65.
Yeah, so I recently sold, as people know, my SL65 on the cars and the bids, and it brought $60,000. Big money.
It's all because of that fourth picture where you're cleaning off the.
Well, that does have something to do with it. That is how I care for my cars, meticulously. But this car sold well. The bidding war, it was bid up pretty quickly. If you look at like the actual bid history, and for the longest time, it was sitting at 45, and then it went to 47. But in the end, there were a couple more bids, and it ended up at 60. And the car's going to Dallas. One of the cool things
there, isn't it?
By the time this airs, it'll probably be
Went on a
about
truck,
there.
yesy.
Went on a truck on Tuesday of this week. It was a cool story. The buyer was talking to me about. So he said he wanted an SL65, and his buddy has an SLR and an SL65 in addition to a bunch of other cars, and it was a black and red car. And so he wanted to buy that, and his friend watched the video I did with Nick on the SLR versus SL65 and was like, I can't say the SL65. I have to keep them both. They're both too good.
Wow.
And so then he ended up bidding on this car, and he won it, and now it's in Dallas.
Look at this.
I think feels
Look
right.
at this picture. It's
a good
Who
picture.
took this picture?
This is a Nick Stafford, Stafford Media took this
That
picture.
is real photography.
That's a great photo.
Yeah,
This
it
makes
is.
me want the car. And
Yeah.
I already drove the car and had it around.
I was a little disappointed in your video. You didn't give it the full. You didn't go full throttle in the car.
What was I?
You
on the
did like
freeway
the
though
loop.
when something interesting happened.
Probably, but this car. The thing is, like, yes, I'm very happy to sell it. I'm happy it goes to good home. I'm happy to get a very good result on it. I will miss that engine. It is just one of the all-time great engines, and I will sing that thing praises until the end. But
Kennan's SL65 has departed us.
yes, and the
60
hunt
grand.
is on for a Viper.
Kennan is legitimately looking for a Viper.
There are 3 people I'm talking to, all with first-generation Vipers, all red.
Wow.
In
3-spoke?
various years, all 3-spoke, all side pipe, and so we'll see. I'm working together on a couple of yes. There's an order. I'm not in a rush, so I'm going to find the right one. But I'm definitely on the hunt.
motivated,
I look. Everybody has given me a lot of guff about this. It's like, oh, the Mercedes is so much better than the Viper. It's like, well, yeah, you're missing the point.
Missing the point. We're
We're
experienced men.
I want to experience it. I want to be clear. I am likely not going to have the Viper for more than 6 to 9 months.
No.
But I have to have it. Like there's an itch that I have to scratch. I want to follow in Doug's footsteps.
Yep.
Get a manual V10.
You'll be really good at putting the top on and off.
So there's a fun fact about first gens. They came with a tonneau cover. On the first gen Vipers, across the dash, there are a bunch of little snaps. That is for a tonneau cover that goes over the whole thing. So if you want to just cover the interior, you can.
Wow.
So I'm going to get, and there's a zipper. So you can zip out just
So
the
is there
driver's
no
section.
roof at all? Okay, got it.
There is, of course, a roof, but it's a pain.
That's a fun fact.
But yeah, a lot of people, have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I figured you would have. But like, yeah, that's very few
I
people.
kind of remember at the Peterson. Maybe I even I don't remember. They had that. They have like the 4th one made or something.
Yes.
You know what? I was at my kid's school there the other day. You know, over there.
Over there by the thing.
And I was walking up to pick up one of the kids there from the school.
Yeah.
And there
Your
was
kids, I hope.
there was a school district van. And it was an Econoline. And on the side of it, it said Triton V10. And I'm thinking to myself, how bizarre is it that the people driving V10s are Huracan, Gallardo R8 owners, LFA, Carrera GT, muscle guys in Vipers, and then a school employee.
Hey, the V10 knows no bounds. Everybody has to experience it, whether it's in the truck.
How weird.
I mean, I of course have driven a U-Haul.
My friend Talon has one, and he's not a car person at all. He's had
He's
it
got a
since high
V10
school.
Econoline?
Yes, but he said at one point he put 27 friends in and drove down to the beach. So I'm sure it was very safe. But like, yeah, because I hadn't seen this truck forever, and then he pulled up to this volunteer thing we were doing, and it said V10 on it.
In today's world, it's so ridiculous. Young kids growing up today who become car enthusiasts are going to look back at those V10 vans like we look back at like those old Cadillac V8s that were 8 liters and made no power and be like,
totally.
back in the grandpa's days, they were putting V10s in vans. So weird.
We lived through a great period of automotive history. We really did. But I am, again, just thrilled with the result. Thank you again for reviewing it. And I was very happy to represent this one. The car made it easy because it was a very good car.
Do you think he's going to end up with a Viper?
Yeah.
Are you pumped for this?
Yeah.
I think I'd like for you to drive it. I'd like
would love to.
Well, you'll be part of my friends drive my Viper.
Oh, I will this time?
Yes.
Wasn't this time.
And you can be too because you're not going to review it because you've already done a first-gen Viper.
I would do it again, especially if you got a ketchup and mustard.
I should have bought that one. That was a mistake. It was
But
sitting
that
right
was 1.5.
there. But I had to. I want the 3 spokes.
That car was so unruly.
I want the side pipes. It is. They are.
They're so
I just-
unruly. It's
What I
laughable.
want, another thing I did recently, I went to Texas to do the Porsche
Yeah.
Hill Country Rally, which I'll talk about a little bit in a second. But what I made me realize is how much I love classic cars. I really love them. And the Viper is this unusual blend of classic and modern because it has like fuel injection, you can do diagnosis, and they're pretty reliable and no carbs, nothing like that. But it's so raw and visceral, and it is about just driving. Nothing else, just driving. And admittedly, driving situations you get into are a little scary with that car. But that's what it is about one thing, and I just respect that, and I love that, and I want to experience it.
And it is a very different experience from your E39 M5, which the SL65 also was, but maybe not in the right way. Like it was more relaxed, more easy, more serene. Like not, but the Viper is going to be like, you already have some of that stuff in the E39. Like the Viper is going to be so like, just, you got to control it. You got to handle that car.
The M5 is good at, like, it does a bunch of things, and it's just like taking the slider and stretching on one of those. In the SL's case, it was performance and luxury. In the Viper's case, it's going to be rawness.
Now,
Yeah, it ain't performance.
our
rawness.
It's still pretty, I mean, it's a lot of power in a lightweight car.
Groundhog over here, Sean,
Sean.
producer Sean, Sean at carsandbiz.com. He didn't like the Viper.
No, but Sean has what we call hot takes. In some friend circles, we know him as Hot Take Sean, and he is often wrong. So we're going to find that. I know he hates the Viper a lot. The thing about the Viper, you once said that a great car should be loved and hated in equal measures by people. That's how you make like a truly awesome car. And the Viper is that. Some people love it, and the people love it really love it, and the people hate it really hate it.
It is. I was sitting in a light the other day next to a Harley, and I was watching the whole thing shake, and I was thinking to myself, German and Japanese bike enthusiasts who see this laugh at how unrefined it is. Meanwhile, that's exactly what attracted that fella to that bike. Is the rumble. And that's the Viper. Like Sean's over here. His bad colored G-Wagon is behind us. He's shooting from his high, holier than thou German car, European car brand. He's got 3 European cars. Since I've known him, he's had 5 European cars. Guy's just one of these coastal elites. Meanwhile, you, man of the people with your rumbly thing.
Born and bred in the Midwest, baby. So like I've also only owned European cars, and I want to own an American car. I just think that I just think they are as cool as it comes. I just think they're the best. So.
Tell us about the Porsche rally.
I'm going to pull up a picture of the Viper so we can just stare at one.
Yeah, leave that up while you talk. But yeah, perfect. That's a great one too. Leave that up.
I actually think this rear 3/4. Look at that.
That's a cool car. It's a cool car.
That's a cool car. Anyway, so I went to Texas with some friends of mine from New Orleans to go drive in the Porsche Hill Country Rally. Now, this is a rally that takes place every year just outside of San Antonio in the Hill Country.
Beautiful place.
It's focused. Some rallies you go to, it's kind of a car show. Like this was not that. We showed up and there were 374 cars, a lot of them at this hotel. But the thing was, they're all torsion bar cars. So 1989 and Ford Porsche. So that's 911, 914, 356.
1989 and older.
1989 and older.
Yeah.
Correct. What I realized when I got there is that it is a classic car event, and it is focused on driving. By the time we get up in the morning at like 7:30, the parking lot will be almost completely empty.
Wow.
All those cars are out just driving. They gave us these great routes to drive. You could drive at your own pace. You chose when you left. There was no like organization around. They didn't dictate when you had to drive.
Yeah.
And so it was just a bunch of people out there driving these old Porsches. And what I realized is like those cars can really take it. Like it is a classic car. I was in a 1973 911E, which just made the most glorious sound. You know the beginning to Le Mans when Steve McQueen is driving his 911? Does anybody know? People will know what I'm talking about. That's what it felt like. It was just raw and visceral, and I'm losing my mind. A video's coming out about this soon. But it was just like, we really used those cars. 450 miles in less than in 2 days.
That's strong.
And people drove from all over the country. A group of guys drove up from Monterrey, Mexico with a bunch of cars. People came from California.
Nice. Drove to...
Paul Kramer drove with a group. They only did 100 miles on highway. Everything else was back road. Got there, drove some more, and drove back again.
Are you a Porsche man now? Yeah. Like Spike?
So, well, here's the thing. I realize that it's coming for me. Like,
oh my God.
It's coming for me.
Oh my God.
However,
take mine.
However, I am going What I realized is most of these people, they just liked cars. It just happened to be Porsches. They were exactly what we like. They weren't obsessed over the little deviations. They were driving the things, and they were driving them well and as they were intended to be, and using them. People were fixing stuff in the parking lots, and like it was just. That was real automotive enthusiasm. I think that is the future of car events, to go and use them the way they're supposed to be used. Like, that was the most pure automotive event I have ever been to, and I absolutely loved it, and I plan to go back next year. But I know that I'm going to end up with a Porsche at some point.
Yeah,
but in the meantime...
Filippo and I,
some other
I'm
stuff.
not trying to be a jerk to you. I really am not. But Filippo and I prefer the rare shades event, where we look at cars are parked on plinths, and we look at very similar, identical Porsches that just happen to be slightly different versions of gray and brown. And we talk about how cool that brown is compared to a different brown. That's what Filippo and I like to go to.
You're a Cassis guy. There were a couple of cars there that were like so nice they weren't driven on their own. That's like whatever. But those people brought other cars so they could just go cane, which I thought was really cool and
acceptable.
So I have to say, and I'm very grateful to everybody who came up and said hello. A lot of people were surprised I was there. Like, what are you doing here? But
I just want to becoming a Porsche person.
And I'm grateful to my friends who brought their cars to let me drive. And the New Orleans crew was great, and we just had a great time. So I highly encourage people to get out there, go to driving events. They are the most fun.
I agree with that. And on the subject of driving events, I want to move on to the market report. We have two very short things to cover before we have to move on to questions, which are going to be short today. I'm sorry. The market report is brought to you by the Suzuki Across. The Suzuki Across. Yeah, pull up the Suzuki Across.
We sold one.
No. The Suzuki Across. Filippo, do you want to tell the audience?
I'd rather not engage.
The Suzuki Across is it's a four-wheeler. Pull up this picture actually of it. I think is the best one.
That's the last gen.
The Suzuki Across. That's the one I like. The Suzuki Across is a four-wheeler. It's a very...
And that it has four wheels?
It's a very competent, capable off-road vehicle, and you have never seen this body design before. Nope. This is brand new car, Suzuki Across, totally distinct from any other automobile. And you can tell that it's a Suzuki and not something like a Toyota, because the center caps have the Suzuki logo on it.
That's right.
And ignore the fact that the plug-in hybrid badge is the same as you might see on some Toyotas. That Toyota copied that from Suzuki.
Man, you've had... Whoa! Oh my God. Did you get shot?
Pull up the Daytona.
So this is another thing we have to talk about. So a couple of I can't spell today. A couple of weeks ago, after Moda, I went and drove this 1970 Ferrari 365 GT
Yes.
Daytona. What an unbelievable car. Now I started working with cars and bids 6 years ago yesterday.
Happy 6 years.
Thank you. And since we started, I have dreamt one day that we would have a car like this on the site. And here it is, a Ferrari Daytona.
You've had Countachs.
Well, yeah, but I'm more of a...
Better in every way.
Well, I'm a Ferrari guy, so...
Daytona's on the site. It is absolutely beautiful, breathtaking. What was it like to drive there?
So special.
Yeah.
Surprisingly agile. Once you you set the chassis in a corner and then you go. I mean, fully independent suspension in a 1970. And this engine, the Colombo V12, is one of the most magnificent things.
As I'm sure you know.
Of course.
Yep, the Tipo. Yeah, anyway, well, forget it. I'm not going to waste my time with that. But anyway, but just to hear the carburetors, it just makes such a wonderful noise. And and the power is good. The steering... Everybody said at low when you're not moving, if you have to do a dry turn, with no motion, very heavy. But once you are moving, I found every engagement point with the car was wonderful.
Yeah.
It really is a special automobile, and it just felt solid. It felt like I could have driven that car back from Seattle to California, genuinely.
What an experience that would have been.
So beautiful. So
maybe
special.
someday.
Every time I see a Daytona, which is pretty much only at car events, I'm astonished by just how special it is. It is a very cool car, very special vintage Ferrari. It is the link between vintage Ferrari and more modern Ferrari. It was this design that sort of took them out of the, taller grills and wire wheels era and kind of moved them into the more swept back cars that we kind of even to this day, more know as the Ferrari design.
It was the last Ferrari to have Brownies after that. And they offered mags at the time. You could get them. But
it was literally the link between that way.
It was literally. And then
but from a design perspective, too, it was clearly Ferrari going more modern.
And then after this, for 30 years, they were mid-engine. And then they brought the 550 back, which this car was in. It was the Car and Driver magazine where they issue where they compared this and the 550 Maranello, brand.
And there's a lot of similarities. If you really look at them on paper, there's a lot of similarities.
But the one last thing I'll say on this, because I know I'm talking a lot today, but the stiffness of the drivetrain is unbelievable. Because it's a torque tube, so it's secured at the front and the rear, and the transmission's at the back, it's a transaxle.
Yeah.
It just, when you get on it, the whole thing is tight. Yeah. And so you get on it and it goes like this, it just rocks back and then you monster off down the road.
Sean, we got to get a Daytona in the office.
It's pretty special.
Who wouldn't want that? I will say, go watch Kennan's video on the
Yes.
Cars and Beds YouTube channel.
Yes, thank you for reminding
Sean,
me,
if
Filippo.
you want me to get a Daytona, you got to get one here so I can drive it.
Bid on this one.
Bid on this one.
But there it is. We went and we
How
drove the
cool.
car, and it was just the coolest thing. I had the greatest time, and it was a chance for me to meet a hero of mine. I've dreamt of that car since I was a kid.
Totally.
And it far exceeded my expectations. Whoever ends up with this car is very lucky indeed. Daytonas have not been appreciated the way that they deserve to be, and I hope that changes because it is just, look at the thing.
Yeah. Okay, unfortunately, there's no other time for more market report stuff that we wanted to talk about Xteros. We wanted to talk about 987s, 360. We had a good 360. Pull up the 360 result. We got to move on to questions. We're not going to talk about the 360 result. It's just going to sit here. It's just going to sit here, and you're going to look at
It's a
it.
high mile car, too.
Questions, of course, are brought to you by Cars and Bids. Cars and Bids is the leading authority on cars and on bidding. If you want to bid or if you want cars, you go to Cars and Bids.
.com.
.com there. We have an app too, Filippo.
We do. Yeah, we have an iOS app. And if you've been asking about an Android app, stay tuned.
Stay
Good.
tuned.
That's
My
soon.
God, he's
That's
telegraphing. There's a future here.
Just
It's like
minutes ago, I got an email inviting me to join our Android testing.
But
it's
do you
like when
have
Stefan Winkleman said they might do a 2+2. This is that level of oh my
no,
God.
much more certain and much sooner.
I hope this gets covered in all of the industry publications. Anyway, from OMG Foz, first question. Oh, and remember, you can ask questions. Go to carsandbids.com, click on the community tab. The next pod is with Sean. There's not going to be a questions thing for it. After that, you can ask questions. First question is from OMG Foz, release the Saturn files. I want to talk about this because people have been asking me about it. You want to tell the story?
No.
All right, here's the story. Go back to the fall of 22.
Is that when it was?
Yeah.
God, it's been a while.
Summer of 22. The fella sold his 430 Scuderia on Cars and Bids.
I remember the car. You reviewed it.
Really nice guy. He lived up in somewhere, and he was great. And he said, "Hey, listen," he said, "since you're up here," he said, "I also, as a nostalgia thing from my childhood, I bought a 1992 Saturn, and it's pristine. Do you want to review it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I did the Scud, sold the Scud on the site, whatever. Then I did the Saturn, same day.
Yep.
And the Saturn video has never found a date to go live.
I, by the way, legitimately love the Saturn SL. We've auctioned a Saturn SL.
We actually had the Saturn video on the calendar over last summer, but I pulled it off
Look at this car.
for something else. Yeah, wow.
I love this is not the car.
No.
I love the Saturn SL. That curved rear
it was
glass.
an attractive car. Anyway, anywhom, that's the formal way to say anywho.
Will it ever be shown to the public?
Well, I don't know. What do you think? Like, my thinking is Sean wants us to put it up at some point, probably to stop all the annoying comments.
Plus, to see 2022 Doug, it's been a while.
Been a while. No beard.
You don't have a beard.
Just give me a shot.
Your hair was longer or shorter?
It will be interesting. I will put it up at some point. The problem is basically this. Ever since then, more or less, we've switched to this new format where on Tuesdays I put up video reviews with brand new cars, and on Thursdays I put up video reviews with cars that we're selling on Cars and Bids. And the Saturn is neither. And so it's been hard to find a spot for it. You know, I get emails from the automakers almost every day like, "Hey, you filmed this car 3 months ago. Why is the video gone up yet?" It's like, okay, we got to put that up. Or, "Hey, this car's got to go live because the seller needs it to be sold. So that video's got to go up." And they all have a higher priority than the Saturn. But it's out there.
Mr. Beast. One of the top creators on YouTube and Amazon. Jimmy has a thing where he like pre-recorded videos for like Jimmy 5 years from now, 10 years from now, whatever, and also for once after he dies.
Oh wow, Jesus!
Have you considered just kind of saving that for that fateful, unfortunate day?
I have an idea.
If it comes up, you gotta ask.
April the 1st falls on a Tuesday or on a Thursday, I think. So release it then.
Maybe I'll release it for the 5-year anniversary of filming it next year, which is probably September. I would.
That's what you should do.
That's in 27.
Look, Sean has popped up the gopher.
The thing is, I want to put it up. What, Sean?
We should sell a shirt.
We should sell a shirt.
Check out
between Sean and Filippo, the Cars and Bids promotion.
Merch.carsandbids.com. Got great merch.
I'm going to put it up at some point. I got to find a slot for it. It initially was like, it's been a year. There had been videos that waited a year. And then there was that video that waited a lot longer. And I got to find a place to put it. But it's been hard.
OnlyFans? They're going big into that creators.
Next question from Row76. Tell us about the Mega Track. You're in luck. No, I'm kidding. But man, pretty cool, right? Row76. When are we getting Ryan on the pod? Ryan, I'd love to have him on the pod. Normally he sits and watches the pod, but we haven't been keeping his interest today.
Not a good enough
I don't need to deal with these jerks. Someday Ryan will go on the pod. I think pretty soon, actually, Ryan's planning to be on the pod. I would love to have Ryan on the pod for a lot of reasons, mainly to kind of get inside his head, get inside his psyche, and see what's all going on in there.
Let's see if we can get an explanation.
And he golfs. I mean, he's an interesting fella. He golfs. You can talk about it to him. I don't know.
Please don't talk about it to us.
Golf is interesting. That's definitely what our audience wants to hear. More golf.
Filippo, you want to have Ryan on the pod or no?
Of course.
Kennan?
Yeah, I like Ryan.
All right,
I get to be in videos with Ryan. I'm lucky.
That's true. You're around Ryan more than all of us.
Ryan, by the way, you can find him most Mondays on the Cars and Bids YouTube channel.
Check out
And
the
Key.
Cars and Bids
And the Key
YouTube
channel.
The
or
new
Key.
channel.
Yeah.
Key. Go to Key. You see Ryan Lopez 24/7.
Right now, well, depending on when you're watching, like in the next 2 hours, you'll see a video with Ryan on the Key channel.
You can even ask him about his hair in the comments. Okay, next question. Next question. Dear Doug from One Cheap 987. Dear Doug, you've mentioned several times you hated working for an OEM and you pity everyone who works for an OEM. If you were forced to pick an OEM right now, who would you choose for? I do not pity people who work at OEMs. I think people who work at OEMs, OEM being car companies, headquarter car companies, I've definitely never said that I pity people who work for OEMs, ever. I promise I've never said that. The OEM that I worked for, yeah. I definitely have some pity there. Which was Porsche. It wasn't my best job, let's put it that way. Let's just say if I had to walk behind Filippo cleaning up all of his slop, that might also be a better job than the one I had. Filippo,
I don't know.
Filippo,
We're off the rails at
you
this
make
stage.
slop.
It's all over.
What? Filippo, have you ever thought about working for a car company?
No, not really.
Review.
I'm a startup guy through and through, and
Well,
even
well,
the
I mean,
startup
go
car
work-
companies-
go for RJ. Go hang
Even the
out
startup car companies are 100 times larger than I want my company to be.
Go work for Tello, dude.
But
Tello is small.
Tello's small, just
Tello
like
truck.
the truck. Just like the
Does
truck.
the Tello truck drive?
If you were forced to pick an OEM to work for right now, who'd you choose? Buick. Next question.
You and Mary Barr can hang out.
Buick.
Next question. This is a very interesting question from Ricky Marquez.
Ooh.
Will the manual Panamera go up in value in the future? This question makes an interesting presumption that there is a manual Panamera.
Was there?
Okay, so here's an interesting thing that a lot of people don't know. When the Panamera first came out in 2010, Porsche made manual transmission rear-wheel drive Panameras, both the V6 and the S. There are manual Panamera S, never sold in the United States. This question asks, there's only 146 of them made, will they go up in value? One time I was in Stuttgart at a business meeting when I worked for Porsche, the job that was similar to cleaning up Filippo's slop. And I remember right at the factory there in Zuffenhausen, which is also Stuttgart. No one knows why they're called both, but they are. There's a Porsche dealer right there at the factory. And one time I remember after the meeting ended, I was waiting for a ride back to the hotel or whatever, and I walked into the dealer, and there's a Panamera S sitting there on the showroom.
Wow.
And I looked inside, and it was a stick. And I was like, I knew it existed, but I was like, oh my God, this is so crazy.
Wow.
And they killed it real quick.
Yeah.
But and claims only 146 made, probably most of which were V6s. I think the S's are probably the rare one. How cool. What a cool thing. Do you think it'll go up in value? I don't know.
I think
Mine 28s never went up in value.
You have a Cayenne since.
but Cayenne certainly have.
Yeah, but it's still not over sticker, like that one green one. But other than that,
Also, it's only, I think, in the U.S.
Yeah.
the manual Cayenne.
That's true, but also I
that
imagine if someone one day, if Nick is still being crazy, and what's that? You said 2010, so we got to wait till 2035.
it's not that far off. Yeah, it's
swappable
already
then.
16 years old. It's 9 years away.
We got
They're
9
legal in
years.
Canada. You could bring a manual Panamera to Canada today
If you can find
Nick could
one.
figure out a way.
Godspeed.
if you can find one.
Surely it was whoever wanted the cheapest Panamera.
Maybe.
Whoever that.
I mean, there were probably people who bought S's. They looked cool because, like the Carrera GT, the Panamera had the shifter up high. So it was like a high mount shifter. Yeah, see if you can pull one up. Manual Panamera. See if you can pull up an image from the interior. They're out there.
Wow. Right-hand drive and left-hand drive.
That does not surprise me.
There you
Wow.
go. Look at that. They're out there.
like
They
that.
exist.
Wow. Good shift of position.
They
That's an
exist. You want
Wow.
one of these?
Kind of, yeah. I do.
You know, the sad thing, the truth is the dual clutch was such a good trans for that car.
Swappable, though. Imagine.
Probably not.
Why not?
Because it's a dual clutch. It's not
Well,
like
you got to swap the entire transmission.
I mean, okay, yeah. Buy an $8,400 automatic Panamera. Spend $43,000 swapping the last remaining manual
Worth it.
transmission.
That's cool.
That is. Very
I did not know somehow.
Yeah,
vaguely.
you didn't know they existed?
I think vaguely it was somewhere in my mind, but no.
You know the other one, Alpha. Didn't the Alpha Giulia Quadrifoglio come with a manual in?
Did it?
Yeah, I believe in Italy. Correct.
Yeah.
Really? Damn. That'd be a cool car too. Those are a lot newer.
Those are a lot newer, but they were only.
Was it the quadrifoglio or was it? Yeah, it was the quad.
I was the quad. Yeah.
That's cool.
Next question. We'll do two more very, very quick. Two more from Lawrence. Hi, Doug. Why do you no longer include exhaust sound clips in the reviews of performance cars like Kennan's AMG V12 powered SL65? Kennan, do you want to explain why I didn't do an exhaust clip in that video?
Well, that particular car, it's pretty quiet. Is kind of the refinement.
Isn't it? Doesn't it not rev?
No, it does.
The answer to I still do them, to be clear, when I can. Like I just did the Viper and we did it. But to answer your question, like almost all new cars do not let you rev in park. Like 2,000 RPM is the max you can rev. Almost all. In fact, the C8, being a Corvette, has a special mode where you can't rev it in park, but if you pull both paddles at once, you can rev it in park. It's like you have to confirm that you want to be annoying. But like almost all of the new cars that I review do not do that. The older ones do, and so I do it when it's appropriate. Like I didn't do it for the X5, but like for the Viper we did it. I did it for the Aston Vanquish, which is coming up. There's a few, the Firebird we have coming up in our office. But that's like the big problem. You go to rev like the new RS6 Avant and it revs to 2,000. Like there are electronic
Forgot
controls.
that was the thing.
Aren't there ways? Is it like neutral or drive?
You try neutral, it doesn't
Yeah.
work either. It's the same thing. Car stop will not let you rev. It's just like
I'm fine with that.
Why?
it's maybe for sound. There's all these rules in Europe. Maybe for emissions. Maybe for just general annoyance. Maybe to protect the engine from cold revving. Like you start it and want to show your buddies. But a lot of new cars don't do it from a lot of different brands.
I'd love to know more on the reasoning, but all those sound plausible.
Yeah. Final question from Jolly Swagman. Final question. Dear Doug and team members, thank you for affirming.
Thank you.
You all call Southern California home these days, and you're all plugged into the local car enthusiast scene, but you've all lived in various places across the U.S. How would you compare car culture in some of the other cities where you've lived?
Yeah. Happy to answer. Madison, Wisconsin had way more manual hatchbacks, way more Mycene as a result.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. What about Baltimore? How was the car culture there?
Great.
Okay.
No, I don't know. The reality is that before Cars and Bids, cars were always a part of my life. But going to like car events really.
Okay, but you're
wasn't.
driving around Baltimore. Like, what are you seeing?
Oh, great cars that I love. I love quirky, weird things. In my neighborhood, there was some old American EV that I'm blanking on that was just parked on the street there.
S10 EV.
No.
GM EV1.
No, if only. There was something that was really interesting that was there. Like, you see cool cars everywhere.
Did you ever...
My folks are in New Hampshire, a lot of manual station wagons.
We're talking
there.
about Baltimore
Right.
car culture. You agree if Nick was on the pod, we'd have to cut out
We have to
every
cut out
part.
every
Yep.
single word.
That would hit the cutting room floor pretty hard.
And what about your previous
In
place?
Cleveland, yeah, I found that the thing about Cleveland that's galvanizing is the weather. So when it's nice, we can all use our cars. Like
Galvanizing is
all
an
come out.
Unfortunate word.
Yeah.
For that context.
Ironic, actually.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it really is. And so, like, I actually found I found a great group of car people. When I lived there, a surprising number of exotics make their way in from the coast. They end up in the Midwest, and there's also a very, very strong pre-war scene there. So it's a surprisingly, and of course, muscle cars, and like there's a pretty diverse actual group of car enthusiasts there, and we're all very tight. When the weather's nice, we drive and we're out there going and using them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a very good scene. Still friends with a lot of people in the Cleveland car scene out there. So shout out to the land, as it were.
All rust. Worst car scene in the world, Philadelphia. You agree? In America.
No, wasn't there a Veyron in Center City for a while?
You agree, though. Worst car scene
one
in
time
America.
I was walking up Pine and an LFA drove by me.
Sure you were.
No, it was. I have a picture from like 2015 of this happening.
Worst car scene in America, Philadelphia.
I don't agree with that.
It's a city where the people don't have. It's not like New York where like if to have a car you got to be like rich and quirky. So there are some weird cars around. Philly's the opposite. Street parking is horrible. The culture generally is like things get damaged. Like that's just like general Philly culture. Like it's not a place for cars. People did not get into cars. It's not a driving city. There are no good Philly car culture. The worst in America. I'm not saying outside Philly. I'm not coming for you, Wayne. That's where Filippo lived for 2 years when he was in his suburban family phase. Of course, he left that family.
Right. they don't know that, but yeah.
Oh man, that's really you're close there, buddy.
Who's out there with Emily? Worst car culture in America.
I don't agree with that.
What do you think's the worst car?
There's a lot of cities that don't really have any kind of.
That was Philly.
No, Philly had
Every
had
car
at
in
least
Philly
some
had like 14 of those residential parking
weirdness.
permits on the back and was a Toyota Corolla.
We like different things.
It wasn't even cool. It was Toyota Corollas. It was 9-year-old Toyota Corollas.
There were also some cars. One time there was a manual 360 driving around. There was a Skyline GTR. There was a Hover.
My car.
There was a V8 Vantage.
I'm so
There was an
sick of you.
Escargot. There was a Viper. I think that's it, though, right? That was all.
That was all of them. We had
Defender.
We had an RDX.
Yep.
I own an Acura, people. Don't ever forget that. Okay, that's the end. Kennan, give us some parting thoughts.
Well, I don't know. I'm very happy the SL65 found a new home. Go check out my YouTube channel. I have one more video coming out on that car talking about the auction and walking through that.
We
and
never
I have a little
did
bit
the
of
drag
news,
race.
But we never.
A little bit of news.
I have a little bit of news, but that's going to wait.
You
Here's the
misheard that.
teaser. You're going to have to wait. But we never did do the drag race because Nick and I were scared. But I'm kind of happy we didn't. So it's fine. Plus, then Nick doesn't have to be truly embarrassed that my car is fast. So there is that.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.